a little bit lower line through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Allgaier looking to the bottom.
Allgaier's got some clean air to the nose of his Chevrolet off of turn number 2 as he had a peek to the inside of Taylor Gray for that spot. Now he tucks in line. Here's Allgaier diving to the bottom in 3.
That is the race for the 4th position. Allgaier's digging hard down low. He tries to throw the block and he can't. Here's Taylor Gray hammered out on the top of the racetrack.
Now he tucks in line. Here's Allgaier diving to the bottom in 3.
Allgaier and Gray side by side at the start-finish line for position number 4.
Taylor Gray got squeezed up toward the outside at the exit of turn 4, but he did not lift. Powers back around the high lane. Taylor Gray back to 4th place, but that fight's not over yet.
Taylor Gray has got a mirror full right now of Justin Allgaier. Allgaier pokes a headlight to the inside of Taylor Gray down the backstretch. Now drives slow in 3.
Taylor Gray will just let him go and slide up across the bow of his race car. Now he'll do the crossover, does Taylor Gray. He'll pull the steering wheel to driver's left, go side by side, flashing by the start-finish line.
A spirited battle back and forth for positions 4 and 5, and the harder they fight, they open the door now for Christian Eckes, who's closing in.
Christian Eckes closing in, so is the machine of Chase Elliott. So it's about to be a 4-car battle for the 4th position as they head to turn 3. Allgaier, Gray, Eckes, and Chase Elliott on the line.
Meanwhile, up front, Brandon Jones continues to dip his car down to the inside while Christopher Bell continues to run the wall. Cole, what is going on inside the race car? Obviously, Steve Bell has a lot of momentum, but diving down to the bottom of the racetrack for a moment, you're giving false hope, thinking you got a chance to make the pass, but you can't.
Yeah, that's what's so tough around this place. It is so hard to pass. And I think Brandon Jones, he has a really good car right now, and I feel like he can work the bottom pretty good in 3 and 4 as he dives down there again. But it's going to be very tough to complete that pass unless you can get next to him and then do a slide job.
Alan Cavana, you've been paying close attention to what Brandon Jones and others are doing out there.
Yeah, Brandon Jones really happy with his car, but the message on the team radio is patience. Of course they want to take the lead, but the more Brandon tries and fails at the moment to take the lead, they're reminding him, hey, take care of those rear tires. This is early in the race, early in the run. Be patient. Of course they want the lead, but they want to keep the handling in the car as well.
Right now, Brandon Jones running in the 2nd position, trying to take the lead away from Christopher Bell, but can't. When they come to the line, 13 laps will go up on the scoreboard, and Christopher Bell has led them all.
Gentlemen, we want it all. We want to host dinner parties and avoid people. We want to be one with nature and not one with bears. We want to be financially responsible and buy a commercial wood-burning offset barbecue smoker. Sadly, we can't have it all. Unless we're at Sport Clips Haircuts, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with sports watching, shampoo, massaging, relaxation. Sport Clips, it's a game changer.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Clutch together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We've got beauty.
And tailgating tradition. Burnout. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
One change in the top 10 while we were away. Chase Elliott has just gotten around Christian Eckes to take the 6th position. On the battle for lead tightens up between Christopher Bell and Brandon Jones at lap 15. From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
This tonight's county fair, I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh, man, I saw the whole thing. And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can. This is one of the biggest storms.
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
For 3 decades, Racing Electronics has been the #1 choice for scanners, headsets, and all race day communications needs. Racing Electronics provides the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate NASCAR fan. Hear uncensored communication from every team in the race with a scanner from Racing Electronics, or tune into the MRN radio broadcast. To learn more, visit racingelectronics.com today. Be race ready, be RE equipped.
Back at Darlington, we continue under the green flag. 17 laps into the 147 that'll make it this race today. And it's been quite a spirited battle for the lead. Christopher Bell, Alex, cannot shake Brandon Jones.
No, Brandon has given him a look every time diving into turn number 3. They race off to turn 1 at the moment.
I think that battle's going to heat up even more because Christopher Bell's car has begun to turn loose on him. He is dirt tracking his way out of turn number 2 with the lead.
Christopher Bell holds the top spot by a car length for the moment over Brandon Jones. However, when these two check their mirrors, they have got Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier starting to run both of them down.
It is a 4-car breakaway for the lead between Christopher Bell, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, and Justin Allgaier. They have pulled away by 3 seconds over Taylor Gray that runs in the 5th position. And David, Taylor Gray looks in his rearview mirror. He's got a NASCAR Cup Series driver closing in right behind him.
Plenty of company. Chase Elliott is right there. A little further back comes Christian Eckes. Then it's a good 25 to 30 car length gap back to Jesse Love.
Jesse Love back there. You also have the machines of Sheldon Creed, Nick Sanchez, and Carson Quapple battling for a spot. They're in the line this time, headed back to the corner. Quapple looks low on Nick Sanchez.
This is the battle for the 10th spot. Sanchez has it. Carson Quapple wants it. He'll dive to the bottom of the racetrack. And that bright blue throwback to the 75 Bobby Unser Indy car, the old Jorgensen Eagle Dan Gurney-owned car, races back to turn 1.
Tiptoes his way into turn 1, takes a low entry, a groove down off the wall. Not going to gain any ground this time on Sheldon Creed.
Nick Sanchez had to crack the gas in the middle of the corner, and he loses a car length. Now make it 2 to Sheldon Creed. Sanchez looks behind him. He sees Carson Quapple, Sammy Smith, and Ross Chastain.
Up front, Jones to the inside of Bell for the lead. You've got Mayer to the inside of Allgaier for 3rd.
Down to the inside, the pestering now is over. Oh, sideways is Brandon Jones. He nearly collected Christopher Bell. Somehow they stayed off each other, and they'll get out of turn number 2 single file.
And here comes Justin Allgaier with a nice launch out of turn number 2. He pulls to the inside of Brandon Jones, side by side for 2nd and 3.
Brandon Jones may have really made his tires angry on that 4-wheel slide a moment ago. Allgaier will get by and grab the number 2 spot. Brandon Jones on the counterattack now, because we have a caution flag on the speedway. There's a piece of debris laying on the racetrack down in turn number 1, and that will slow things down for the first time today. Cole, we saw Brandon Jones take a shot at the lead, got to the bottom of the racetrack. Is there just a lack of grip at the bottom, or is this just a matter of old tires?
Well, I think the biggest problem is when you go into turn 1, you're side by side on the bottom, you're taking all the air, all the downforce off the car when you're on the bottom going in there. So he gets super loose, almost wrecks. And that's why his team, they told him, be patient, because it's not easy to make a pass here.
So we are under the caution flag for the first time of the afternoon, and it comes out just as a couple of drivers were really jostling it up front. Christopher Bell trying to fend off Brandon Jones, who's trying to fend off Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer. We'll re-rack them and go again as we are under caution for the first time of the afternoon.
As we work in the Sport Clips VFW Help a Hero 200 here at the Darlington Raceway. It's a privilege to always welcome back to the broadcast Mr. Gordon B. Logan, founder and chairman of the board for Sport Clips Haircuts. Welcome back. How are you today?
It's great to be here at Darlington. Beautiful weather, beautiful track. We're looking forward to a great race.
Absolutely are. It's a hot one here today, but the sun is beating down. It's a great crowd on hand. Now, the partnership with Sport Clips Haircuts and the VFW and Help a Hero Foundation, for those that don't know what it is, explain what it is and just how important that is.
Yeah, this is our 11th year sponsoring the Help a Hero 200 here at Darlington in partnership with the VFW. And we've raised over $15 million over the last 10 years for scholarships for veterans making that transition from military to civilian careers, and awarded over 3,000 scholarships. So it's been a great program, and the VFW is great partners.
Why did you start this, Gordon? How did this come to be?
Well, I saw a need, especially when the troops started coming home from over the Middle East, that there were about 100,000 a month being separated, and a lot of them needed additional training in whatever career field, some of which the GI Bill covers and some of it doesn't. So this is in addition to the GI Bill. A lot of these young men and women have families, and so this is a big help. It's $5,000 a semester, and they can apply for multiple semesters.
Why is this so near and dear to your hearts?
Well, I'm an Air Force veteran, and life member of the VFW and the American Legion. Feel like it's something we can do to say thank you to all the men and women that serve us and sacrifice so much. Special shout out to the 77th Fighter Squadron over at Shaw Air Force Base. Did that F-16 flyover for us again today. And a lot of them are overseas on deployment now. I've been over there for about 6 months, coming back. But we'll be entertaining a lot of their families and their wives and children this weekend.
So how can folks help out?
Well, we have a big fundraiser in the fall, October, leading up to Veterans Day. But anytime during the year, you can go to VFW.org and see the Help a Hero Scholarship Program there and donate there, or any Sport Clips store or sportclips.com, Help a Hero. So
we always appreciate you and always appreciate what you do for our veterans and putting on another great race here in Darlington.
Oh, look forward. We started good. We're up front, so that's a good start.
That's not a bad thing, is it? That's Gordon B. Logan, founder and chairman of the board, Sport Clips Haircuts.
Pit road is open at lap 24. A lot of the front runners stay out, but we do have takers as the field comes down to the line. Let's start pit coverage first with Chris Wilder.
And it's going to be Brennan Poole on this end at pit road, who takes the Jeff Gordon Looney Tunes scheme from the mid-2000s back to pit road. They just needed to work on it here. They didn't want to burn up a set of tires, but they felt like to make some track position, that's the key. So a split strategy here. Brennan Poole is in, as well as looks like Kyle Steve. Steve Post, anybody by you?
We've got Harrison Burton in 4-tire Sunoco Racing Fuel. The handle's just not good on that Jeff Burton throwback scheme. Josh Balicki is in as well, and everyone else showing amazing restraint. They had a set of 6 sets of tires total, 4 laying for the balance of this race. Use one now, like these drivers have, and that's one less you might have later on. So a lot of restraint from the front runners here at this early caution. Alan, come on, how about in front of you?
Same deal down here, Steve. All the leaders in my section all bypass pit road because those tires, like you said, are at a premium. Some of the drivers in the back of the field, maybe they can make some hay on the new tires. Anthony Alfredo, one of those, but a majority of the field, especially the leaders in my section, staying out there till the stage end.
So that is the call from the handful of drivers that elected to come to pit road and service their race cars. The front of the field elected to stay on the racetrack. And we'll continue circulating here under the caution flag. This time by, there will be 19 laps to go. We will not get the one-to-go signal this time.
So Steve Bell, that's Christopher Bell, is your leader with Justin Allgaier in second. Brandon Jones is third. Fourth is Sam Mayer. Taylor Gray rounds out the top 5.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network is live at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina, as we race the NASCAR Xfinity Series Sport Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200. My name is Alex Hayden. Alongside is Mike Bagley and driver Cole Custer. Out in turn 1 is Dave Moody. In turn 3 is Tim Catalfamo. Up and down the pit lane are Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Alan Cavana.
If you're just joining us, we are wrapping up caution flag number 1. Piece of debris was spotted in turn 1. Pit road was open, had some drivers utilize pit road from the back half of the field. Josh Williams is making a second stop. The crew is working on the right rear of that car. We'll get an update for you, Josh Williams fans, in just a moment. But the story, Alex, so far has been all Christopher Bell and Brandon Jones until right before the caution flag came out. Justin Allgaier was starting to turn the wick up on that Chevrolet.
Yeah, that's what you do. You put yourself in position and hope that somebody in front of you makes a bit of a mistake. And Brandon Jones had a near catastrophic mistake as he tried to take the lead from Bell. Went to the bottom of turns 1 and 2, lost the back end of the race car, had to check up, and that enabled Justin Allgaier to get that position. Cole, as we come down to the line to get the one to go, traditionally here at Darlington, is there a preferred lane you'd prefer to restart in, inside or out?
Well, what's tough about it is it can change. You know, especially on newer tires, it seems like you kind of want the top, so you have the momentum through 1 and 2. But older tires, the bottom can launch really good. So I'd be interested to see if Justin Allgaier can get a really good restart here. And it's going to be interesting to see Harrison Burton coming from 28th. See if he can get some stage points here with some fresh tires.
Harrison going to do all he can to get back towards the front of the field as we watch Justin Allgaier take that bottom lane. Christopher Bell will restart on the outside. Taylor Gray inside of row 2, alongside of Brandon Jones. Chase Elliott, good run so far. He is right now going to restart on the inside of row 3 against Sam Mayer. So everybody's had a chance, Alex, to re-rack themselves, collect their thoughts, and get ready to go when they come to the line. 17 laps to go in the opening stage.
And they're going to have to hang on these 17 laps. Not only are their tires 27 laps old, but they've had an opportunity to calm down just a bit. Maybe pull some rubber up out of the racetrack that they've already laid down. So these first lap or two of this restart could be very hairy for some of these drivers.
In case you missed it, Chris Wright made contact with the wall before the first caution flag. They've come down the pit lane, tended to that car. And matter of fact, Chris will be on the pit lane as we come to the green flag. Looks like they're going to do some work around the right side of the car and address some hood pin matters as they will send him onto the racetrack. As the safety car comes to the pit lane, restart's going to come at lap 28.
They hit the restart zone and the green flag goes in the air. Outside lane, Christopher Bell. Inside is Allgaier, and Allgaier gets the jump.
Bell does not get a good start at all. Allgaier away with the lead by 2, maybe 3 car lengths. Bell trying to block 2 lines of traffic. Brandon Jones up high. Down low comes the near winner last week, Taylor Gray.
Taylor Gray and Brandon Jones side by side for third. The leader is Justin Allgaier. 3 car lengths behind him is Christopher Bell.
And as predicted by Cole Custer 1 moment ago, Justin Allgaier out in front, and he is rolling. C. Bell trying to play some catch up. That's Christopher Bell with Brandon Jones, the top 3.
The gap between the top 2, just about 5 car lengths now. Allgaier in control. Second to third, that's another 5 car lengths. That's to Brandon Jones. Here's Christian Eckes putting the heat on Sam Mayer for 4th.
That's the battle for 4th out of turn number 2. Further back, they're stacking up. Chase Elliott, Sheldon Creed, Nick Sanchez, and the machine of Ross Chastain all slammed into each other in turns 1 and 2.
All got away with it as they race their way back down to the start-finish line. 15 to go here in the opening stage of the race. Allgaier's lead is 6 car lengths. Further back, Taylor Gray has got a hornet's nest behind him.
Yeah, he does indeed. And one of the Hornets is, believe it or not, Harrison Burton, who in 2.5 laps has come from dead last past about half the field on those new tires.
Harrison Burton just drove around the machine of Jed Burton. Now he's looking 3 wide down the Boeing backstretch. Headed to turn 3. Harrison Burton passes Ryan Sieg and Sammy Smith.
Wow, what a move by Harrison Burton. And then you got Ryan Sieg sliding at the racetrack and almost bouncing off the wall behind him. Everybody starting to slip and slide now with 14 to go in stage 1.
Harrison up to the 14th position, and he's not done yet. He's going to dive to the bottom of Carson Quapple, makes short work of him, now puts the crosshairs on Jesse Lowe.
Further up, a little bit of a good battle for the 6th position. That's where you find Taylor Gray and Chase Elliott side by side entering turn 3.
They've got Ross Chastain there looking on. Sheldon Creed, Jesse Love, Nick Sanchez, and here comes the car with the freshest tires. That's Harrison Burton. He'll now work his way to the inside of Sanchez. Will dive bomb the rest of the field in 1.
Burton went 3 wide up the middle to take Jesse Love and Nick Sanchez both at the same time. He's going to the bottom now. He'll slide under Gray. Now he goes after Ross Chastain.
Here comes Harrison Burton again on those fresher tires. Pulls up right behind the machine of Ross Chastain. Now ducks low in turn 3. Pulls alongside of Chastain for that spot.
Harrison Burton's got his sails in the wind right now as they come to the line. 12 to go in stage 1. Justin Allgaier leading by 1 full second over Christopher Bell.
Kyle Larson brings his 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
Here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires of Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
It's the fastest, most unpredictable speedway on earth.
Talladega Super Speedway. It's not a place for the meek. There are no pleases and thank yous. It's not quiet, and it doesn't pretend to be. It's where anything is possible, and everything you've ever loved happens. All at once. NASCAR weekend at Talladega Super Speedway, April 25th to the 27th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Harrison Burton's run to the front continues. He just took 5th a lap ago. Now he just took 4th from Sam Mayer. Here he comes to the inside of Christopher Bell for 3rd. And now he's attempting to go to the inside of Brandon Jones and grab 2nd. Harrison Burton is making his way to the front. Now he's got a 2-second deficit to make up to get to race leader Justin Allgaier. From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of the NASCAR.
This is Kyle Larson. I'm David Grau.
Hi, I'm Donnie Shaw.
This is Brian Brown.
Wing Nation is your go-to destination for all the latest sprint car news and interviews from the stars of sprint car racing from around the country. This is Steve Post, Aaron Evernham, Ashley Strummy, and I will have all the latest news, insights, and conversations on Wing Nation's YouTube or Facebook pages, or listen and download and subscribe to Wing Nation on any podcast platform.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation.
Wing Nation. Wing Nation. All sprint cars, all the time.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station at MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Back at Darlington, the battle for the leads in front of Dave Moody.
Just in time for a challenge for the lead. Harrison Burton has reeled him in, and he's all over Justin Allgaier.
Here comes Harrison Burton looking to the inside of Justin Allgaier, the leader in turn 3. They'll run side by side.
Burton at the bottom of the racetrack. Allgaier goes topside, who's got the preferred lane, but older tires. Off turn number 4, they sprint their way to turn number 1, wheel to wheel.
Side by side into the 25-degree banking in turn 1. Burton on the inside, Allgaier on the outside. Those tires not quite as good in comparison to the leader, but they're good enough. Harrison Burton to the lead.
Burton clears Justin Allgaier, and now it's Harrison Burton, the new leader. Allgaier back to 2nd, a distant 3rd. Also on pressure tires is a hard-charging Kyle Sieg.
So Cole Custer, my question to you is, if you're in the case of Justin Allgaier, right, you're leading the race and you're doing all that you can do, and you've got this guy that comes blowing past you, how much restraint and discipline do you have to exercise to not get a little too carried away with the matter at hand?
You definitely have to keep the big picture in mind, which is going to be the end of the race. You know, those guys who took tires, if there's a caution that comes out late in this race, they're going to be in bad shape because they aren't going to have a set of tires to put on. So Justin Allgaier, he has to just keep the big picture in mind right now and keep it under him.
As he is right now, Allgaier does have a really good pace with 40-lap tires. Those are the same tires he started the race on and qualified on. In the Xfinity Series, you start the race on the tires you qualified on. Not the same in the NASCAR Cup Series. You don't have to start the race on those.
So we've got 4 to go in this stage, and Harrison Burton is the 3rd different leader. Christopher Bell has led 27 laps. Justin Allgaier's led 11. Harrison Burton has just led his 3rd. You've got Allgaier 2nd. Kyle Sieg, who also stopped for tires at lap 25. He's up to position number 3. Brennan Poole stopped at lap 25. He's 4th. Brandon Jones, who's yet to come to pit road, he right now rounds out the top 5.
Then Christian Eckes is 6th. Anthony Alfredo on fresher tires is 7th. Christopher Bell's backslid to 8th. Sam Mayer 9th, and Ross Chastain rounds out the top 10. Down to just 3 laps to go now here in stage number 1. Harrison Burton, the race leader, and legging it out. 3/4 of a straightaway advantage right now for Burton. Mike, when he come off turn 4, 2 to go in the stage.
Meanwhile, further back, Sam Mayer, Tim Catalfamo's hands are full. He's got him lined up at the back door.
He has got a lot of cars behind him, Mike Bagley. Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, just to name a few.
And these drivers are in a knot exiting turn number 4 right now. As they come off turn 4, sliding around, everybody keeps them pointed the right direction and make their way back to 1.
Not only are they all clumped together, but most of them are fighting ill-handling race cars at the tail end of this stage. They stay out of each other's doors so far, but no guarantee the rest of the way.
Everyone trying to be careful here towards the end of stage number 1. Here's Sam Mayer. He's got a challenge courtesy of Ross Chastain to his left elbow. Chevy Ford battle for that spot in turn 3.
Meanwhile, the final lap of stage 1 has begun. Harrison Burton takes him back to the corner.
All Harrison Burton, he's driven away by a country mile. Whether the strategy comes back to bite him later or not, we'll see. But he's on his way to a green and yellow checkered flag.
Harrison Burton all by himself right now at the front of the pack, setting up for turn 3, takes a higher line into the corner and sets up for 4.
Here he comes up off of turn number 4 as one driver, Sam Mayer, is well off the pace after really pancaking the race car. Green and white checkered flag is in the air. Stage number 1 comes to conclusion. Harrison Burton gets the stage 1 win. Photo finish at the line for second in the stage. It will go to Justin Allgaier. Brennan Poole will be third. Kyle Sieg fourth. Anthony Alfredo fifth. Brandon Jones sixth. Christian Eckes seventh. Josh Malicki will be eighth. Ninth will be Ross Chastain, and 10th will be Sheldon Creed. And for the second time today, the caution flag flies over the Darlington Raceway. Stage number 1 is in the books.
Hi, I'm Daniel Suarez, NASCAR driver, and I'm very excited to announce the NASCAR Cup Series is coming to Mexico. For the first time in history, NASCAR Cup Series will leave the United States and visit Mexico City. See you at the Autódromo Hermano Rodriguez from June 13 to June 15. Fast cars, sharp turns, and the magic of Mexico. Let's race. Get your tickets for the NASCAR Mexico City weekend on Ticketmaster.
iRacing, NASCAR, and Coca-Cola congratulate Spire Motorsports and Steven Wilson on his win at Richmond in the 2025 eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series. NASCAR's officially sanctioned eSports series featuring the top sim racers from around the world. Wilson has 3 wins in the 4 races so far this year. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for round 5 at Rockingham on eNASCAR.com. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, iRacing, and NASCAR.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Good morning, guys. I just want to warn you, traffic is tough out there.
We are here for you to tell you how to keep safe.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can.
To provide the music, talk, and sports you love. And to deliver the news that matters to you. We are the voices you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just a pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good. And hopefully all my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
I don't know. Ow.
Back here at the Darlington Raceway, pit lane has yet to open up for drivers to pit without any kind of penalty. Only Sam Mayer elected to come in after he had the outside wall reach out and slap him around coming to the green and white checkered flag at the end of the stage. But we expect all the front runners to come to pit road once it opens up.
Yeah, we expect pit road to open here shortly. And again, Harrison Burton, Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, Josh Malicki, and Mason Massey pitted in lap 25. Everybody else on the racetrack has not pitted for tires and Sunoco Racing Fuel, and it'll be at least one more lap before they're able to come down to pit lane to receive that service.
It's going to be a big pit stop for these drivers, Steve Post, because in a short 200-mile race, you don't get it very often to come to pit road at this one.
Oh, you don't, and this is one of the big chances, really, two, that you can plan on adjusting. We have the end of stage number 1, the end of stage number 2. We get into stage number 3. If it goes green, they're not going to pit. We may get a caution there where you can work on it, but it's really important to get the adjustments right. A lot of tight race cars out there, so there's going to be a lot of free race cars up, and this is one of maybe only 2 chances you get to work on your race car here this afternoon.
This is one of the shortest races on the NASCAR Xfinity Series schedule. At 147 laps, we see our share of caution flags, but Alex, we've seen our share of long green flag runs in this race as well, and it will click by in a hurry.
It will, and that's where the discipline that Cole, you mentioned earlier, really comes into play, because you have to be able to manage your tires to the end.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of tires in the Xfinity Series. You know, in the Cup Series, we got tires to bolt on pretty much any pit stop we want. In the Xfinity Series, you don't got very many, so you really got to save them. You have to manage them in the race. And you see, like Christopher Bell, he used his tires up leading the race to start, and he really fell off at the end of the run.
So right now on the racetrack, pit road is open, and we see everybody starting to angle their cars towards the bottom of the racetrack. Harrison Burton is the leader. We expect him to stay on the racetrack with Justin Allgaier right behind him. No, Harrison's going to come down. He's going to get tires. Everybody is going to get tires right now. Pit stops at lap 49, and those pit stops will begin in front of Alan. Come on up.
A unique pit road here. The first 10 pit stalls kind of on an island of their own. Justin Allgaier in really happy with his race car. They're going to make a right side air pressure adjustment just to make it a little bit tighter. Hopefully make that 7 car a little better. To my left is the 20 car of Brandon Jones. He was happy but says it's too loose out there on the racetrack. They're making an adjustment to put more rear grip in that car to help him through the corners, Steve Post.
Daniel Dye is in, no adjustments. They're pretty happy with that race car. Carson Quapple is in, 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Jesse Love is in. Both of those cars very, very tight, and they're going to loosen them up. Austin Hills had a good run through the field. Tight when he gets on the throttle. The race off from pit road goes to Brandon Jones, and Justin Allgaier going out second. Harrison Burton goes out in the third spot. Like the rest of the field rolling up by down here. Man, they're 3 and 4 wide. It's a wonder we didn't have a crash down here on pit road with these pit stops, Chris Wilner.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, Steve Post, still on pit road. He got some right front damage with some contact earlier in stage number 1. They're opting to keep him on pit road, lose the track position now, fix the right front as they've got a little bit of bear bond put on the right front, just in front of the right front wheel well. But all 4 tires are new for Chase Elliott and the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. They packed it full of fuel. Christopher Bell, you guys alluded to it, lost the rear grip of the car, overran those rear tires. They made a slight air pressure adjustment, 4 tires and fuel. Taylor Gray needed lateral grip. They put a track bar adjustment on his Toyota, and also Christian Eckes lost lateral grip. A lot of these drivers losing grip over the course of the run. That's what we've been accustomed to here at Darlington.
Chase Elliott will finally pull out of the pit box as the pace car now is on the front straightaway. Elliott will go back out on the track and will stay on the tail end of the lead lap.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, 2 Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Crash together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading paint.
We got beauty.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
It's the fastest, most unpredictable speedway on earth.
Talladega Superspeedway. It's not a place for the meek. There are no pleases and thank yous.
Oh, he gets hurt.
It's not quiet, and it doesn't pretend to be. It's where anything is possible, and everything you've ever loved happens, all at once. NASCAR weekend at Talladega Superspeedway, April 25th through the 27th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
On Thursdays, NASCAR Live goes wide open with some of the biggest names in the sport.
The goal is the same, so the mindset's the same, right? The goal is to win the championship.
And some familiar voices that you might not have heard from in a while.
You know, I thought about going to one of these teams because I'd really like to win the 500. I never planned any of this to start with, right from the very beginning.
No matter what driver or what era is your favorite, NASCAR Live Wide Open has every corner of the fan base covered. Subscribe now wherever you listen to podcasts.
welcome you back to Darlington Raceway. We're yet to get the one to go signal. As a matter of fact, next time they come around, we will in fact get one to go. So while we have the opportunity, let's follow up in the Sam Mayer pit. He is being scored the race leader. Alan?
Well, Sam Mayer's going to have to come back down to pit road because just before the stage ended, he smacked the wall, got one of those Darlington stripes, tried to limp it home to the stage end, but couldn't do it. They cut down a tire and had to come in and make multiple pit stops. So far, they've only changed the right side, but the damage, I checked with his crew chief, Jason Chincheri, says is somewhat minimal, but again, they've only changed right side tires. We're going to have to go start in the back anyway. They're going to pit again before we go green to put left sides on there, but a lot of work to do now for the 41 car driver of Sam Mayer.
And Sam Mayer brings the car to pit road right now to receive those left side tires that Alan was talking about. As the field gets the one to go signal, Brandon Jones will reclaim the lead. It will be the third lap he has led this afternoon. Justin Allgaier will restart in position number 2. Brennan Poole across the line in third. Harrison Burton in fourth, and Sheldon Creed in fifth. Christian Eckes will restart in sixth. Christopher Bell will have to restart in seventh, with Ross Chastain in eighth, Anthony Alfredo ninth, and Kyle Sieg will restart in 10th.
I marvel at the turnaround Brandon Jones has had here in the early part of this season. The first 3 races of the year, no top 5s, no top 10s. The average finish of 26. Over the last 4 races, however, 1 top 5. He's got 3 top 10 finishes, and his average finish is now 9th. So whatever it is beginning to click there with Brandon Jones and that race team at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Of course, he has been a long-time competitor in this series, and he's driven for multiple race teams. Matter of fact, this is his second stint with Joe Gibbs Racing, and he's looking for this stint to be more prosperous than the others. And right now, he is in good position, at least at this stage of the race, to perhaps maybe get another good finish here this afternoon. The pace cars get set to dive into pit road, and it'll be Allgaier and the aforementioned Brandon Jones on the front row. When they come to the line, it'll be 37 laps to go in stage 2. We'll put lap 53 of the race on the board.
Off turn number 4, pace car goes to pit lane. Look up at the flag stand. That is where Caden Kritzer has the flags in hand. Field will hit the restart zone. They'll jump on the throttle. Green flag goes back in the air, and we're racing again at Darlington. Wheel to wheel. Chevrolet versus Toyota headed to turn 1.
Another pretty good restart for Justin Allgaier on the inside lane. He'll win the race to turn number 1. He'll take the lead. Brandon Jones rides in second. Harrison Burton is third.
That's the top 3 as they exit to the Boeing backstretch, side by side for fourth. Brennan Poole is a challenge to his left elbow, courtesy of Christian Eckes.
Christian Eckes opens up the inside lane off the end of the back straightaway. He'll grab fourth, and that lane is still left open. Here they come out of turn number 4. It's Sheldon Creed on the move, while up front, Harrison Burton wants a piece of Brandon Jones for second.
Burton's on the march again. He took the outside lane away from Brandon Jones at the exit of turn 4. He'll power around the outside to take second. Eckes, thank you very much. We'll follow him through for third.
Christian Eckes, a nice run around the outside of Brandon Jones for third. Now Jones has got to deal with the machine of Ross Chastain, who is right behind him into the corner.
Chastain taking hard right at the racetrack, coming up off of turn number 4. They'll thunder their way back to the start-finish line. Harrison Burton got the track position. Now he wants the lead back in Darlington.
Here he comes down to the inside. Dive bombs on entry into turn number 1. Doesn't have the momentum, though. Fighting it off in the high lane. Justin Allgaier retains the lead.
And lurking behind Harrison Burton, the second-place car is Christian Eckes. As a matter of fact, here's Eckes pulling to the left side of Harrison Burton. Dives it deep into 3 and takes the second spot away.
Eckes now slides at the racetrack, and across the bow of Harrison Burton put Eckes in second. Harrison Burton falls to third. Rounding out the top 5 are Ross Chastain and Brandon Jones at lap 56.
Harrison Burton snuck a peek to the inside of Eckes for second place. There was nothing there in turn 1. Now he's got to play defense. Here comes the Mellon Man. Ross Chastain will take third place.
Chastain clearly the third off turn number 2. Now Burton's got to deal with Brandon Jones. Here's Jones taking his Toyota to the inside of Harrison Burton.
Burton keeps it on the outside lane. Jones tried to slide up. No room at the end. Harrison Burton gets the nose of his car right back to the outside. Wheel to wheel, they race for position number 4.
Side by side across the start-finish line and into turn number 1. The advantage goes back to Harrison Burton. That's the battle for position number 4. as they'll run single file first stage off turn 2.
Harrison Burton in fourth. Brandon Jones holds onto the fifth spot. Then you've got Brennan Poole, the sixth-place driver. Sheldon Creed, Christopher Bell, Taylor Gray, and the machine of Jesse Love complete the top 10.
So things settle down among the front 5, front 10 or so as they put lap 58 on the board. 32 laps to go here in stage number 2 at Darlington Raceway. It's our honor to bring in Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States to the booth. Carol Whitmore is with us. Carol, welcome in.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here, and it's a privilege to represent the Veterans of Foreign Wars here today at the greatest NASCAR track in the world.
A lot of us will agree with that. We love the Darlington Raceway. We've been watching you, watching the race. What do you think about what you've seen up here for the broadcast booth so far?
Oh my gosh, this is an incredible view from up here. You guys have the best seats in the house, quite honestly. And I will admit, this is my first NASCAR race ever, and I'm going to be spoiled forever now.
Yes, it is quite the scene. With all that you've gotten to do today, given the command to fire engines, you've been seeing different perspectives of this race, including right here from the broadcast booth. But let's talk a little bit about the VFW Help a Hero program in conjunction with Sport Clips Haircuts. Just how important is this program for the VFW?
Sport Clips has been such a tremendous help to fellow veterans in need, especially for transitioning back from active service to civilian life. They just don't always have the finances to do it. And Sport Clips, Gordon Logan has just been a generous donator for us, and we are so appreciative of that. We help so many veterans. We have given over Sport Clips has given over $14 million to veterans in need.
How important is it to the VFW to constantly have this type of support?
It's such a tremendous day to be here representing the VFW, so the public gets to see that we are out in the communities. We are out trying to help those veterans that struggle either emotionally, financially, whatever they need. That's what the Veterans of Foreign Wars does. We take care of each other.
We had an opportunity to speak with Gordon just a moment ago, talking about the millions and millions of dollars. You mentioned that a moment ago as well. That program, how can people have the opportunity to help you at the VFW as well?
Oh, we will take donations all day long. We have a website, vfw.org. You can go on and donate specifically to Help a Hero. You can donate just to the VFW on that website, but Help a Hero is such a tremendous boost for veterans that are transitioning.
Thank you to you and everybody at the VFW, and thank you specifically for your service as well. We can't thank you enough for that and for all you're doing for all of our veterans, so thanks so very much.
Oh, it's my honor to do what I do.
Absolutely. Privileged to have with us Carol Whitmore, Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief, Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States.
Justin Allgaier continues to lead, but he's fending off the advances of Ross Chastain, with Christian Eckes, Brandon Jones, and Harrison Burton rounding out the top 5. 26 to go in stage 2.
Do you want me to pet you? I think you want me to pet you.
You may not know where you stand with your friend's cat that somehow knows you're a dog person.
Your claws are out, but they look relaxed.
But you always know exactly where you stand with the Sport Clips app that shows you the shortest wait, and the haircut tracker that tracks your real-time wait time down to the minute.
Yep, you definitely want to be petted. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
The Sport Clips app. It's a game changer.
Drivers, start your engine!
NASCAR Xfinity Series races here.
Green flag is in the air, and they're playing bumper cars already as they race off in turn 1 by a fender. It's Cole Custer.
All the exciting play-by-play and lap-by-lap action.
Austin Hill to the bottom. He'll go to second. Big walk from top to bottom by Jim
The
Buell.
voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Shane Van Gisbergen up the front stretch. The New Zealander wins at Portland International Raceway.
Back at Darlington, we continue under the green flag here in stage 2. Justin Allgaier's lead a half a second over Ross Chastain from Darlington Raceway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Don't miss a moment of the NASCAR season.
Chastain drove it and never lifted. Put it against the safer barriers all the way around the turn. Passes Denny Hamlin.
Check out the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series on hundreds of local radio stations around the country. Find your local station by going to MRN.com to catch the excitement of NASCAR on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
To go in stage 2 here at Darlington Raceway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Sport Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 continues on. And right now it's the Justin Allgaier show, Alex. He's had a couple of challenges there from Ross Chastain, but right now, Justin Allgaier starting to leg things out. He's got the lap car of Jeff Burton in between the top two.
It's not a surprise, Justin Allgaier running at the front of the field here at Darlington Raceway. The longest top 10 streak finish at Darlington all time. Well, that belongs to Mark Martin and his dominating days in the Xfinity Series here at Darlington Raceway. 9 straight top 10 finishes here. Well, Justin Allgaier is nipping at his heels. He's got 8 consecutive top 10s here at Darlington, and the way he's running right now, still a long way to go, but he's poised to tie Mark Martin for that all-time record.
While we have an opportunity, let's get updated on some stories that are breaking loose on the pit lane. We start first with Steve Post.
Back on lap number 25, Harrison Burton came in, put tires on the car, went right straight to the front and won stage number 1. It was a gamble on track position, and the gamble will see if it pays off in stage number 3, when late race caution will cost him. But right now, it has got them good running position, good track position. He's settled into the pit spot, and what they're preaching to him is just watch the 7 car, Justin Allgaier. Watch how he paces himself early in the run, midway through a run, late in the run. Watch those other drivers in front of you. You got Ross Chastain in front of you. You've got good race teams in front of you. Learn the pace from them. Watch the pace from them. And right now, Harrison Burton, he's got about 20 car lengths ahead of him. He's got about 15 or 20 car lengths behind him, sitting comfortably in the pit spot. So I would say that track position gamble during the middle of stage 1 thus far has paid off well. Chris Wilder?
Steve Post, Christopher Bell's in the 7th spot, but remember early in stage 1, he was racing hard with Brandon Jones. Well, that racing hard equated to the right front tire on the last pit stop. After 45 laps, the sidewalls was becoming to shear apart just about halfway around the tire. So Christopher Bell went backwards at the end of stage number 1. So they told him to race the racetrack here in stage number 2 and start to work your way back up to the front. That's exactly what Christian Eckins and the college racing teams took note of, and they just told Christian, back it down until we're about 15 to go in stage 2, then go forward. So it's a strategy game on saving tires, but that was the reason Christopher Bell started to fall back. The right front starting to show the sidewalls falling apart there after 45 laps on tires. Alan Cabana? A promising day for Jeff Burton has taken a turn. He started this race 22nd, raced his way up to the top 15, nearly the top 10. But just a few laps ago, he had a right front tire go down. He was able to avoid any real damage, but he had to make another pit stop. They put more tires on there. He came out, laps down. He just got a lot back on the racetrack with those fresh new tires. But a lot of work for Jeff Burton to do. Again, who's running a throwback scheme to his dad, Ward Burton. He thought he had a top 10 car. He's got a lot more work to do to get there now.
He does, but he just needs to pass one more car in Greg Van Alst to be able to be the first car 1 lap down. Should a caution flag fly quickly, he would be the beneficiary of the free pass. But all that being said, can go out the window if Justin Allgaier continues to lap cars. As a matter of fact, he's just lapped the 35th place car, David Starr. We're down to 15 to go in stage number 2.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin both.
We're on pit road.
4 tires to Sunoco Racing Field. The pace off the pit road is Denny Hamlin. Alex Jones.
We are live from the the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station at MRN or nascar.com.
Feel like you're in the driver's seat and never miss a second of the race action with Racing Electronics. Racing Electronics scanners allow you to listen in on uncensored audio from your favorite drivers, spotters, and crews the entire race. Hear team strategy with critical passes, dangerously close calls, and all the pit stop drama. To learn more, visit them at racingelectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
NASCAR history. Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Back at Darlington Raceway, challenge and change for the second spot. Christian Eckes will take his college Chevrolet to the number 2 position. Put Ross Chastain in the rearview mirror. That will put him back in 3rd. Brandon Jones is 4th. Harrison Burton is 5th. All the while, Mike Bagley, they continue to chase Justin Allgaier.
Let's talk for a moment about Christian Eckes. He's made the transition over from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series to the NASCAR Xfinity Series this year. Drove for McAnally Hilgeman Racing last year. And he comes to Colleague Racing, where he's won a truck race here. Looks like he's poised and in position to have a good run today in the Xfinity Series. And he needs this run, Alex. He's had 2 DNFs in his last 2 starts, but it's been fun to watch this very talented young race car driver transition from one series to another.
It has been, and this is his first Xfinity start here at Darlington Raceway. Cole Custer, you've driven a Craftsman truck. You've driven the Xfinity car, obviously an Xfinity champion. How vastly different are they, let alone racing them at Darlington Raceway?
Extremely different. I mean, I think especially the Xfinity cars are probably the most drastic difference that you'll step into, because there is so much off-throttle time. You're slipping and sliding around so much. And I remember the first time I raced here, I got to come here and test, actually, and I was like, man, this place is pretty easy. Everybody, it's not what it cracks up to be. But when I came here and raced, when there's 40 other cars out there with you, it is a different story. It is hard to get around this place when you have to work traffic.
And Chris Wilner, it appears that Christian Eckes is settling in to Xfinity Series competition here at Darlington quite nicely.
Yeah, he is. And this is exactly what he and the college racing team really needed, because it's been a tumultuous start to his full season rookie campaign. He came over the radio and said, I feel like I'm really good on drive off. I just need help on entry into the corners. So they're going to plan on making a minor adjustment. But this is going according to plan, because Christian told me today, I just need to finish a race. They feel like they made the right step at Martinsville, got caught up in a late incident, but they were going to have a solid day there. But it's about putting everything together here as he continues to learn about the Xfinity car in the Xfinity Series. So doing a nice job so far today. He just got around Ross Chastain, but his car right now is really, really good.
It really is. And with 8 to go here in stage number 2, an opportunity to come to pit road is on the horizon for all of these lead lap cars coming up shortly. With 7 to go now, Cole Custer, it's one thing to get track position by doing something different. Speaking of Harrison Burton, speaking of Brennan Poole, it's something totally different to maintain that track position, because Harrison Burton right now is 5th and Brennan Poole is 11th.
Yeah, it's been really impressive what Harrison and Brandon Poole have been able to do here. They've taken cars that, probably weren't exactly to their liking, and they got that track position. Now they're able to keep it, which it is one of those places. If you can have that track position be up front, you're not burning your tires off it in the dogfight in the mid-pack, your car just gets astronomically better when you get towards the front of the field.
Of course, we're watching the drivers up front. They have some separation, and they're not being forced into any battles that they don't want to participate in, Alex. Unlike mid-pack on back, where we see drivers swapping around spots here and there and basically putting the Goodyear tires through their paces.
Right now, a pretty good race for that position, and putting those tires through their paces is Nick Sanchez and Austin Hills that head for the backstretch.
All that traffic racing their way down the straightaway, setting up for turn 3. Behind these two, you find Sam Mayer and Daniel Dye side by side trying to go through lap traffic.
This is the race for the 16th position on back. In case you're just joining us, Austin Hill had to go to the back of the pack at the front end of the race for unapproved adjustments, and Dave, it's been a hard-fought battle for Austin all day long.
It really has. He's fought hard every lap, as you would expect Austin Hill to do. But the progress hasn't always been what he would want. He's trailing Nick Sanchez down the backstretch.
Austin Hill about a car length behind Nick Sanchez. 3 more car lengths ahead of the Daniel Dye machine in turn 3.
Daniel Dye with a throwback to Adam Petty. What a paint scheme that was. And, you know, you can see things on social media via photograph, Mike, but until you see these cars in person, you really get a deep appreciation. When you watch them go around the racetrack, that really makes you get a little bit of a smile.
Creativity on display this weekend. We saw it earlier today with the NASCAR Cup Series, and then, of course, the NASCAR Xfinity Series doing their share of throwbacks as well. We got a little taste of everything, and different generations represented, but it is the attention to detail of these paint schemes that gets very, very, quote-unquote, in the weeds, or just the minutest of details have been tended to on these paint schemes, and it's a joy to see a lot of them. Like I'm looking at one right now. Jeremy Clemens coming out of turn number 4, representing Harry Gant this weekend in that legendary Skull Bandit paint scheme. Obviously, Jeremy from South Carolina trying to pay homage to Taylorsville, North Carolina's Harry Gant.
Justin Allgaier, the race leader, comes by start-finish. 2 laps to go now in stage number 2. Cole Custer, when it's time to think about your paint scheme for Throwback Weekend, how much input do you get to have in your race car?
It changes year to year. You know, sometimes they ask you, sometimes they don't. But I was lucky this year. They were like, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, when I think of the 41 car, I think Jimmy Spencer from my childhood. So it was really cool again to run the Jimmy Spencer car and hopefully give him a good run tomorrow.
Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement from that generation. Right now, Justin Allgaier, Mr. Excitement this afternoon at Darlington, leading the way on the final lap of stage 2, back to 1.
Yeah, the new Mr. Excitement is probably a little bit bored right now because he's got no challenge and hasn't for quite some time. He's just going to follow in the tire tracks of Blaine Perkins with no plan to pass.
Justin Allgaier very smoothly works his way back to turn number 3, following the Blaine Perkins machine to 4.
Off turn number 4, green and white checkered flag will await. Justin Allgaier finished stage 1 second. He'll come to the start-finish line and will win stage number 2. Top 10 finishers get championship points here at the end of the stage. Justin Allgaier picks up the stage win. Christian Eckes will be second. Ross Chastain third. Brandon Jones will be fourth, and Harrison Burton fifth. Carson Quaffle comes home sixth. Christopher Bell seventh. Chase Elliott drives up to eighth. Ninth, Jesse Love, and 10th, Sheldon Creed. With that, the caution flag goes in the air for just the 3rd time. We're down to 57 laps to go.
From pads and rotors to shocks and struts, coming to a full stop should never mean your business does too. At Napa, we are the pros that know brakes and suspension better than anyone. So when others are grinding their gears, our premium parts and exceptional service deliver results. Whether you're operating a local shop or managing a national fleet, Napa has exactly what you need, when and where you need it. Get the brake and suspension parts you're looking for right now at Napa.
Hi, this is Mike Bagley. Join me along with the cast and crew of the Motor Racing Network every Tuesday night for NASCAR Live. Hear exclusive interviews.
It's my responsibility as a driver to leave the sport in a better place than it was when I got here. And certainly sometimes it comes with controversial takes.
The best moments from each of NASCAR's premier series.
Big bang sideways at the line. Photo finish.
And in-depth breakdowns of the latest NASCAR news and more. It's NASCAR Live every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern.
Pit road remains closed. We'll have pit stops for you coming up shortly from Darlington Raceway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
local radio brings people together like never before.
It's a beautiful hometown weekend out there. We've got
Your local stations keep you informed and involved with music, talk shows, and real-time news you can trust. We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters, connecting you to what matters most. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress to support your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Keep up with all of the action during the 2024 NASCAR season with NASCAR Today.
William Byron has won the Daytona 500.
Every weekday throughout the season, we'll bring you the latest news and insights.
At that point, I really had in my mind, okay, we can really win it.
As we count down the days to championship weekend in Phoenix.
It's surreal still. I can't believe I'm in this position.
I'm Chase Elliott. Listen to NASCAR Today every weekday right here on the Motor Racing Network.
Here at Darlington Raceway, as we wait to see if pit lane will open up this time by. The field is just now onto the back straightaway. In what has been a Justin Allgaier dominated first part of this race. He's led 51 of the 92 laps.
We've only been slowed a total 3 times for caution, 14 laps, and one was for a piece of debris, and the other 2 have been stages. The most recent one, obviously, the conclusion of this second stage, and pit road will remain closed for at least one more lap. Cole Custer joining us topside here today in the analyst role. I know that you transitioned from the NASCAR Xfinity Series back to the NASCAR Cup Series, and it's been a challenging start to the 2025 season. Where are things on the Cup race team right now as you enter this race tomorrow?
You know, I think for us, what's frustrating is last weekend we had a really fast car. I feel like, honestly, we probably could have run top 5, top 10, and we ended up catching on fire from the rubber, getting on the headers and catching on fire. So pretty much, I mean, at the end of the day, we want to do better. We want to be better, but I feel like we're working in the right direction. Everybody's keeping a good attitude. We're going to get there by the halfway through the year. You know, it's just a matter of working it through everything and trying to figure out our weak points and make them better.
Of course, Cole drives for the Haas Factory team. What's the transition been like now with that organization, with the one Cup car, a couple of Xfinity Series rides in there? How different are things on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, well, it's been extremely impressive, just the amount of work that went into it, really. Having to reorganize everything, go through all the different parts and pieces and how to, you know, go about things organizationally. And it was a lot of work for everybody over the offseason. So to hit the ground running in the Xfinity Series, I think they're 2nd and 6th in points with Sheldon and Sam, and having us still building the Cup deal, but trying to work in the right direction. I think we're definitely on the right path.
When you go to turn around performance in the Cup Series, it's not like turning a jet ski, it's turning a cruise ship, and you got to trust the process. Everybody on the same page, morale's in a good place?
For sure, and I think what's so hard about the Cup Series is it is so tight. If you get that 1 or 2 tenths better, you jump up 15 spots. So it's just a matter of how to work through those things and try and figure out track to track how to make it that little bit better.
Pit road is open as the field makes their way on. We start our coverage with Alan Cavana.
Justin Allgaier said the only weakness he has is getting tight off of turn 2. They wanted to go back on an adjustment, but Justin Allgaier told his crew chief, whoa, don't do that. I like how my car is. 4-tire Sunoco fuel for Justin Allgaier. Brandon Jones on and off pit road. He says he couldn't run the top and couldn't mash the gas off of 4. They made an adjustment to help him out, Steve Post.
Carson Quapple is in. Really good race car on the long run. Just got a little bit free, but they're not going to adjust anything. 4-tire Sunoco racing fuel. Jesse Love, good on the long run as well. Just got a little bit loose toward the end of it. The race off from pit road. Justin Allgaier came in first. He goes out first. Christian Eckes goes out second. Brandon Jones third. Ross Chastain fourth. Christopher Bell goes out fifth. Chris Wilner.
Christian Eckes came in and said, I don't know if we need to adjust on it. Felt like the racetrack started to come to him, especially at the end of stage number 2. So it was just a routine 4-tire change and fill it up with Sunoco fuel. Ross Chastain said, I just need to get the power down better. I need help on exit. So they made an air pressure adjustment for Goodyear Eagles Sunoco fuel. Also in was Chase Elliott. What a rebound after that damage repair up to the top 10. He said, leave it alone. So no adjustments for that Hendrick Car Chevrolet. Everyone getting 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles here for the start of stage number 3 on lap 94.
And a disastrous pit stop for William Sawalich and Joe Gibbs Racing. Missed his pit box, backed up, and basically entered from an awkward angle, boxing Jeremy Clements in. What a handful there for Williams Sawala. She was the last car to leave pit road. We are under caution at lap 94.
Gentlemen, we want it all. We want to host dinner parties and avoid people. We want to be one with nature and not one with bears. We want to be financially responsible and buy a commercial wood-burning offset barbecue smoker. Sadly, we can't have it all. Unless we're at Sport Clips Haircuts, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with sports watching, shampoo, massaging, relaxation. Sport Clips, it's a game changer.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Race.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get it. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN.com and podcast platform.
Alan Kowicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
Justin Allgaier keeps the lead. Christian Eckes, Brandon Jones, Ross Chastain, Christopher Bell, the top 5, as we are getting ready to throw the green flag on the final stage of today's race here at the track Too Tough to Tame. From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You're not going to want to miss tonight's county fair. I'm going to be...
We are your window to your community.
Did you see the last 5 minutes of that football game last night?
Oh, man, I saw the whole thing.
And a lifeline to keep you safe when danger is near.
Everybody who is listening needs to take cover as soon as they can. This is one of the biggest stories.
We are live and local. We are America's broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress you depend on your local radio stations.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text stop to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
From tickets, parking, and travel, race weekends can be stressful. Let Racing Electronics make communication easy. With a scanner and Easy Talk intercom system rental from Racing Electronics, you can effortlessly talk over the noise of the race. Hear uncensored driver and crew communication from every team in the race, or tune into the race broadcast with your favorite MRN announcers. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com today.
Back at Darlington Raceway, we're about to get the one-to-go signal here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series extravaganza this afternoon. Looking down on the grandstand, Alex, we've got a great crowd on hand. A lot of fans applying a lot of suntan lotion, a lot of sunblock. It's a very warm day here at Darlington, and we expect much the same for tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. And there are some folks out here that apparently forgot the sunblock. Because there are some lobsters down here. And some folks getting absolutely baked out here in this hot sunshine here in Darlington on the 3rd hottest April 5th on record. By the way, did the research, looked it up. The other 2 hottest days that were hotter than this, you got to go back to 1978 and 1942. Both of them tied for 90 degrees to be the hottest day on record.
Of course, this race weekend is 1 month earlier than what it normally is. In the past, we competed on Mother's Day weekend, and with the new schedule in 2025, we dropped back a month. And the weather's been all over the place here in the Carolinas. I've been in Charlotte all week, and yesterday it was 90 degrees in Concord. Wednesday morning, 35 and frost. So obviously, Mother Nature doing her best civil impression. First she's over here, then she's over there. They've got a handful up here.
And it doesn't matter. We'll put the toboggan on and our mittens and go out on the golf course. It doesn't matter. 35 or 95, we're going to be out there having fun. And we hope everybody is having a great spring and a good kickoff here. There's just something about when spring and the weather turns warmer and the azaleas are in full bloom and the trees have leaves and whatnot. It's just something that kind of gets everybody going and their batteries recharged as you look forward to the summer.
And next weekend, we'll look forward to going to Bristol Motor Speedway. 3 classic races in a row. Martinsville, Darlington, and Bristol. The Cup cars are going to come up for air on Easter weekend. These Xfinity Series teams will be heading off to Rockingham Speedway. And then We're back at Talladega. Right now, the task at hand is to determine the winner of this one this afternoon in Darlington. 49 to go when they come to the line. Green is back in the air. Justin Allgaier is gone. Ross Chastain practically pushing him back to turn one.
Allgaier once again, no contest on the restart. He surges to the lead. He'll take Chastain along in second. Christian Eckes now wheel to wheel with Christopher Bell for third.
That battle for third remains side by side. Halfway down the back straightaway behind Bell and Eckes side by side are Chase Elliott and Brandon Jones.
Brandon Jones works the outside of the racetrack. Chase Elliott's red, white, and blue Camaro works down to the bottom side of the racetrack. They'll stay wheel to wheel. This is for position number 5. Meanwhile, battle for the race lead.
Ross Chastain wants a piece of the top spot. He dive bombs to the bottom on Justin Allgaier. Side by side through one. Side by side.
Remain neck and neck off turn number 2. Ross Chastain to the inside. Justin Allgaier outside with Christopher Bell looking on. They go to 3.
Ross Chastain powers to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll bypass his Junior Motorsports teammate, and Ross Chastain will take the lead at lap 100. Allgaier, Bell, Eckes, and Jones round out the top 5.
Christopher Bell had a thought about capitalizing on Justin Allgaier for second place, but he couldn't make it sit coming off turn 2. He's fallen back by a couple of car lengths in third.
Ross Chastain now starting to leg it out in the lead. He's pulled away from Justin Allgaier by about a car length. However, here comes Allgaier starting to reel him back in 3.
Justin Allgaier understands he's got to make the tires last as they come off the corner. 46 laps to go. Justin Allgaier with a really good race car. Meanwhile, Ross Chastain's car not too shabby either, Dave.
Not at all. Not in any way, shape, or form. But you're right. Justin Allgaier, the veteran, he knows that the trophy is not going to get handed out anytime. He's saving those tires and maintaining the number 2 spot.
A little bit further back, the battle for fourth now starting to heat up. Here is Christian Eckes with a big challenge behind him in Brandon Jones.
Jones looking down on the inside, again racing for the 4th position. Eckes takes his car all the way to the wall. Brandon Jones takes it to the bottom of the racetrack. Jones will lose a car length. Dave in this ongoing battle for 4th.
Christian Eckes hanging on to that 4th spot. He'll take a low entry into turn number 1 and slowly drift it all the way up to the outside wall. Jones looking low again at the exit of 2, but there's nothing there.
Eckes running a little bit higher the last time through turns 3 and 4 than Brandon Jones. We'll see what they do this time into the corner. Once again, Brandon Jones comes down low. Eckes up against the wall.
As Brandon Jones pounds away at the bottom of the racetrack, does he have enough momentum this time off the corner? Can't quite get alongside. Brandon Jones has to fall back in line and try again.
Jones pestering the back bumper of Christian Eckes, peaking low on entry again into turn number 1, trying to make a move to the inside at the exit of 2. Eckes once again able to hold him off.
This again is the battle for 4th. Christian Eckes now has got Brandon Jones alongside of him as they enter turn 3. Jones drives it in deep, trying to slide in front of Eckes.
And he'll complete the pass, and Brandon Jones will take the 4th position coming to the line to put lap 104 on the board. Last time through turns 3 and 4, Austin Hill had his hands full. Dove it into the bottom of turn number 3, and as the car was sliding up the racetrack, Cole, the back end slipped out. That has to be almost a helpless feeling when you're trying to wrestle that car and not take anyone along for the ride.
Well, yeah, you got all the air taken off you when you're on the inside of somebody, and it's go time right now. You know, it's last stage. These guys are going to start getting impatient. They want to work their way forward and get that good finish, so you're going to see some risks being taken.
But how about guys like Justin Allgaier who are 2nd, Christopher Bell who are 3rd? You want to go. You want to be able to put yourself in position to win this race, get at the front of the field. How far are they capable, Cole, of just being able to hang on before they say, okay, the leader, Ross Chastain, is getting too far ahead?
You have to keep them within distance. Probably within a second or 2. You know, if you let them just get out there by 3 or 4 seconds, it's going to be hard to reel them back in. So you have to keep them within fighting distance.
Further back, we've got Chase Elliott's on the move. He'll take a spot away from Christian Eckes. He'll go to position number 5. Jesse Love on the move as well. While we have the opportunity to say how they're running, presented by Napa. Napa and their nationwide network of parts service and know-how are built to turbocharge businesses, big, small, and everything in between. Learn more at NapaOnline.com.
Ross Chastain is the race leader with 41 laps to go. Justin Allgaier is 2nd. Christopher Bell goes 3rd, and Brandon Jones is 4th. Chase Elliott is 5th. Christian Eckes is 6th. 7th is Jesse Love. 8th is Sammy Smith. Nick Sanchez is 9th, and 10th is Carson Quappy.
11th is Connor Zillish. Ryan Seek is 12th. Jordan Creed is 13th. Sam Mayer's 14th, and Austin Hill is 15th. Daniel Dunn is 16th. Brendan Poole is 17th. Harrison Burton is 18th, with Taylor Gray 19th, and Anthony Alfredo in 20th.
21st is Parker Retzloff. Josh Balicki is 22nd. Matt DiBenedetto is 23rd. Dean Thompson is 24th. 25th is Leland Honeyman. 26th is Ryan Ellis. Kyle Sieg is 27th. William Sawalich is 28th. Jeremy Clements 29th, and Mason Massey is 30th.
Josh Williams is 31st. Garrett Stripley is 32nd. Nick Light is 33rd. Blaine Perkins is 34th, and 35th is Jim Burton. David Starr is 36th. Greg Van Alst is 37th, and Chris Wright is the only driver out of the race today. He is posted in the 38th and final position.
38 laps to go here in Darlington.
Hi, I'm Daniel Suarez, NASCAR driver, and I'm very excited to announce the NASCAR Cup Series is coming to Mexico. For the first time in history, NASCAR Cup Series will leave the United States and visit Mexico City. See you at the Autódromo Hermano Rodriguez from June 13 to June 15. Fast cars, sharp turns, and the magic of Mexico. Let's race. Get your tickets for the NASCAR Mexico City weekend on Ticketmaster.
Are you ready for sights, sounds, and speed that'll shake you to your core? To see NASCAR stars like Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Ross Chastain attack the asphalt? Are you ready to make memories that'll last a lifetime? Yeah? You ready? Then we got one more question. What are you waiting for? Experience the thrill of a NASCAR racing person. Visit NASCAR.com/tickets.
Back at Darlington Raceway, Ross Chastain continues to be the race leader. Christopher Bell takes a couple of shots at Justin Allgaier for second. Can't quite get alongside to make the pass. From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
You've never been one to idly watch someone else do something for you. There's pride in self-reliance and working with your hands. In harnessing the power of an E3 spark plug with Diamond Fire technology, yielding better engine performance.
Let's see, what happened?
Have a choice to make.
Oh no.
Take control of your ride, of your life.
Yeah.
Or be a passionate princess of it. Visit E3sparkplugs.com to put the power in your hands.
Message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcast.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
And the whole pack steaming for the finish line. Dale Earnhardt wins the Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Back at Darlington Raceway, under the caution flag for the fourth time, Taylor Gray, coming up off of turn number 4, tried to slide up in front of Daniel Dye. Dye was still there. They made contact. Dye continued on. Taylor Gray spun and pounded the inside safer barrier just past the start-finish line.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing today at the Darlington Raceway. The Sport Clips Haircuts VFW Help a Hero 200 is under its fourth caution flag of the afternoon. It just came out when Taylor Gray made contact with the inside wall here on the front straightaway. Mike Bagley, Alex Hayden, Cole Custer with you topside. Dave Moody, Tim Catalfemo in the corners. Steve Post, Chris Wilner, and Alan Cavana in the pits and the garage area. Justin Allgaier has led the most laps today in 56. Christopher Bell in 27. Ross Chastain has led 15. And Ross Chastain is the leader right now with Allgaier, Bell, Brandon Jones, and Chase Elliott. The rest of the top 5 with 34 laps to go.
Taylor Gray's brought his car to the pit lane. The crew gives it a good, solid once-over. Let's go to pit road.
And they're going to have to work on it a little bit longer, Alex Hayden. The Sawzall is out. They're cutting away some of the left front fender as well. They've got potential tire rub. I also heard over the radio Jason Ratcliffe thinking they may have a brake rotor that had broken as well. But right now, these saws on both the left front and the the left front and the left rear are going out trying to get some of the sheet metal away from the tires to keep it clear. But he's already gone the lap down, and Taylor Gray thinks they're done, but they're going to try to continue and fix this out and at least get them on track to see what they have. But they've gone worse for Taylor Gray.
Tough break there for Taylor Gray. It looked like was on his way to his first win last week at Martinsville. And then now finding the wall after contact with Daniel Dye at lap 111. Pit road is open. Pit stops will happen right now. We start with Alan Cavada.
On the last pit stop, Justin Allgaier's crew made an air pressure change, and he quickly fell to third place. They're going to go back on that, add some tape to the grill. 4 tires. Oh, one of the changers slips. He's going to have a long stop. They're going to have a long stop on the 7. The 20 car, Brandon Jones beats him out. Jones says, I still can't run the top. They're going to make an adjustment to help him out there, Steve Post.
Daniel Dye and the safety crew going to take a look at the front of that car after the contact out on the racetrack. Going to be 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. Jesse Love is in. 4 tires Sunoco Fuel as well. Carson Quapple, they're picking up on this thing. Every run has been a little bit better. 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. Harrison Burton wins the race off pit road. Brandon Jones is up second. Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, and Ross Chastain, your front 5, Chris Wilner.
Really good pit stop for Chase Elliott. The 4 tire change in Sunoco Fuel. They only made an air pressure adjustment on his Chevrolet. Christopher Bell was in. Thought the track was starting to come to him as he was challenging there inside the top 3. He made a 4 tire change, and it was 4 tires all around for Ross Chastain, who said the car felt really good. They fixed that drive off, so expect Ross Chastain to have something to work with here for the final handful of laps.
The beneficiary of the free pass will be Jeff Burton. He'll get back on the lead lap.
Buckle up and hang on. This is going to be a good one.
The fans of Kansas Speedway know how to have a good time. One that celebrates fantastic finishes.
Clicks together. So close.
And family-friendly facilities. Trading games.
We got beauty.
And tailgating tradition. Burnouts. Beer. And barbecue. Oh, it'll for sure be a good time. And you are all invited. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 9th through the 11th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com. Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open. NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Wing Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
32 laps to go here at Darlington Raceway. Harrison Burton off the pit lane first. We'll follow up there and find out what kind of strategy card they're going to play with the 32 laps remaining. From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Wherever you cheer, whatever you drive, you'll find Racing Electronics. With Racing Electronics, you'll hear uncensored communication from every team in the race and the broadcast with all your favorite MRN announcers. Hear every heart-pounding pass and strategy and so much more with a scanner and headphone rental. Upgrade to an Easy Talk intercom system to comfortably communicate over the noise of the race. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
Back here at the Darlington Raceway, Harrison Burton got off the pit lane, gaining 14 positions. Let's follow up in his pit box and figure out how and what they did.
The how is it was fuel only, no tires. And remember, this was back to lap 25. Harrison used a set of tires on lap 25, got that track position. Each team had 2 sets for this final stage, with the exception of Harrison Burton's team. They only had 1 because of that one they used. So Danny Eflin, the crew chief, said, let's go no tires. That way we have a set. If there's a late race caution, we can go toe-to-toe with everybody. No tires, put him out first here. And we're going to see what happens because, boy, I think the young man driving that car is going to have to be elbows up to hang on to spots with those old tires.
Cole, what do you think about all that? No tires as we come to the restart with 30 to go.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute mess on this restart. Because that 25 car, he's going to stack the outside lane up big, and those guys are going to not have a lot of patience here getting
And you cannot pull out of your prospective line until you cross the start-finish line. The restart zone is a solid 100 yards or so from that start-finish line, Mike. So they're going to have to be very patient on the outside lane.
Pace car is on pit road. Here we go. Pull the belts tight. Up to the gearbox they go. And Chase Elliott's there. He's going to split in 3 wide. Harrison's in the middle as the leaders go to 1.
Brandon Jones to the bottom. He'll take Christopher Bell to the lead. Fall outside the top 5.
Harrison Burton just trying to hold on for dear life right now as the field exits turn number 2. Brandon Jones the leader. Christopher Bell second. Side by side for third. Chastain and Elliott.
As they come off the
trouble turn 3. 1 car stays down at the bottom of the racetrack. It's Garrett Smithley towards the back of the pack. Looks like he had contact with Ryan Ellis.
And caution will be on the speedway for the 5th time for Garrett Smithley over in turn number 3 in front of Tim Catalfamo.
They were really stacking up, Alex, going down the back stretch, really fanning out as they came off of turn number 2. Garrett Smithley, and it looks like Ryan Ellis were racing for a spot near the back of the pack. I'm not sure exactly how the Garrett Smithley car got turned sideways, but the tire marks start about 3/4 of the way down the back stretch, so there had to be contact on the straightaway before they even got to turn 3.
Well, you'll have that here at Darlington where you have those wrecks beginning out of turn number 2. You're bouncing off each other. You're jostling for real estate. Garrett Smithley coming up on the short end of the stick, and we go under the caution for the 5th time. I'll give Harrison Burton a lot of credit when the green flag flew on that one. He angled that car as low as he could to give everybody behind him passage in the outside. And he only, Alex lost 6 spots or so, 7 spots on that restart? That could have been a whole lot worse.
It could have been. That's a sinking feeling, and that puts he and everybody around him in a highly unsavory pocket of traffic exiting turn number 2. But you know, that's the card that you're dealt, and you've got to play it, and everybody had to do what they had to do, Cole, to get around him.
Exactly. I mean, he played it as well as you could play it. I mean, at that point, you're really just trying not to get wrecked. So you're trying to make it through 1 and 2 and trying to keep your car in one piece, so maybe you can take tires at the end of the race and have a shot. So he's in a bad spot now, but he's doing the most of it.
As we were watching under the caution, when things slowed down, Chase Elliott got to the back bumper of Ross Chastain and was peppering his back bumper. Chris Wilder, what's the story down there?
Oh, it happened on the restart. The two of them got into it as they were trying to get around Harrison Burton. They're trying to calm Chase Elliott down on the radio as they were still getting after it down the back straightaway under caution. So Adam Wall reminding his driver there's still plenty of time left as Chase Elliott still sits in the top 5. But racers are racers. They're competitive. And certainly Elliott thought he was wronged on the restart by Ross Chastain, and we'll see what happens this next restart.
Of course, we saw it last week in the NASCAR Cup Series. Joey Logano, not necessarily number 1 in line for a Ross Chastain fan club gathering. Chase Elliott now, not a fan of that either. And, you know, it's funny, we were talking with the level of angst and the level of discontent in the garages these days, it's almost like we're going into race 28 instead of 8. In the 2025 season.
We'll go back to Circuit of the Americas on the NASCAR Cup Series race. Chase Elliott was at the front of the field, turn 1 of the very first lap. Ross Chastain dive-bombed into turn number 1 at the top of the hill, clipped the left rear of Chase Elliott. Elliott went from second to the back of the field. Chase was able to rebound and get his best finish of the season in the Cup Series that day. But still, turn 1, lap 1 of that race, you're gonna carry that one with you for just a bit.
Right now, Ross Chastain is 3rd on the leaderboard. Chase Elliott is 4th. We're under the caution flag, and obviously we'll be choosing which lane to restart in, and we'll see what kind of dynamic that generates as we get closer to the end of this race.
As we're down to 27, there'll be 26 laps to go this time by. Most everybody that just put on their tires, well, I don't expect them to come to pit road. They ran 3/4 of a lap under the green flag, so you want to try to save that final set of tires, if you have them remaining, for another caution that may fly before this one ends here. The longest green flag run we've had today has been only 38 laps, and there was only 26 to go as we come down to the line this time.
So as we come down to the line and we get into the later reaches of this race, we'll remind you to join us tomorrow for the Goodyear 400 for the NASCAR Cup Series. Motor Racing Network NASCAR Live Race Day on the air at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll cover the NASCAR Cup cars as next week everybody goes off to Bristol Motor Speedway. Trucks will be back in action. These Xfinity Series teams, the Cup cars. It's the Food City 500 race weekend, which kicks off Friday night with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Weather Guard Truck Race. 7 p.m. Eastern on the NASCAR Racing Network. Saturday, the NASCAR Xfinity Series SIAPS 300. That'll be on the Performance Racing Network, as will the Food City 500 for the Cup cars 1 week from tomorrow. After that, Motor Racing Network's race broadcast take us to Rockingham Speedway. It'll be a triple event weekend. We'll have trucks 1 week from Friday with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Black's Tire 200. Also, the ARCA Menard Series East will be in play, and the North Carolina Education Lottery 250 for these Xfinity Series teams. Got some pretty cool venues coming up and some pretty cool races on the way, and you can hear them here on the Motor Racing Network.
Well, as we get set for tomorrow's Goodyear 400, which Cole Custer will be a part of, what types of things does a NASCAR Cup Series driver do when they finish their day job working on the Motor Racing Network today?
Usually think more about racing. Try to figure out what we need to do going into tomorrow, because the track will change going into tomorrow, and how do you make your car that little bit better? So we'll go back and try to think of some things and try and be as prepared as we can for tomorrow and spend a little time with the family also.
We mentioned Bristol's coming up. Cup Series obviously off for the Rockingham racing weekend, but Talladega, Texas, Kansas. Any
how many laps
racetracks coming up for you in the race team, you feel?
Really, Bristol. I feel like our short track stuff has been pretty solid. We had really good speed at Martins Hill, so I'm really looking forward to Bristol and see if we can have a strong run there.
So we'll certainly be pulling for Cole Custer tomorrow and at Bristol next weekend to see if they can pull things together and get Cole back into victory lane in the NASCAR Cup Series. As we've just gotten the 1 to go here, that means there'll be 24 laps to go once they come back around to take the green flag.
And they have chosen which lanes they will restart. Race leader Brandon Jones will restart on the inside of row 1. You've got Christopher Bell on the outside of row 1. We talked about this Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain disagreement on the racetrack. Well, Chase has elected to restart on the inside of row 2. Ross will restart on the outside of row 2 with Christian Eckes and Jesse Love stacked up behind them. Haven't spoken a lot about Jesse Love today, but as we get down to crunch time, Alex, he is firmly inside of the top 10.
Yeah, he has. He's been just very steady today, running around the 10th position the majority of the day. Good pit stops, and now when it's time to show the speed here with 24 to go in the race, they put themselves in the right spot. They just have to capitalize on it.
Leaders are inching towards the restart zone, and as Alex mentioned, 24 laps to go. Everybody here at the Darlington Raceway on their feet, waiting to see how this one's going to turn out. Right now, it's Brandon Jones up to the gearbox. He's a half a car length out in front in 1.
Great start by Jones. Does he have enough room to slide up and take the lead? He does. Christopher Bell will be boxed in the second spot. Here comes Chase Elliott to the inside of Ross Chastain.
Those two battle for the third spot behind Brandon Jones, the leader. Christopher Bell, the second place car. Further back, here's Carson Kloppo looking to the inside of Jesse Love.
As they make their way up off turn number 4, Brandon Jones takes a defensive line as the race leader. Went down the racetrack just a bit to block the advances of Christopher Bell. Ross Chastain will try to capitalize.
Chastain dives to the inside on entry into turn number 1. Slides up, nearly makes contact. Bell's in the wall. Christopher Bell gets squeezed into the wall as Chastain gets away.
And Bell looks like he's got a left front tire rub on his white Toyota Supra as they head to turn 3. Bell trying to recover. Center and check down for Memphis.
Leaders off turn 4. Brandon Jones tiptoeing away with the lead. Ross Chastain pulling away from Christopher Bell in second. Bell now has fallen into the clutches of Christian Eckes for third.
Bell now officially limping into turn number 1. Smoke coming off that left front corner. He gets bumped from behind by Eckes. Christopher Bell hanging on for dear life in third place.
Driver drivers starting to line up at the back door behind Christopher Bell. Christian Eckes is there. Behind Eckes, you've got Chase Elliott, Carson Quapple, Jesse Love in a line behind Christopher Bell.
They all dig down at the bottom of the racetrack. Quapple really dives in there, has to roll out of the throttle to keep from running over Chase Elliott. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is on.
Christopher Bell has got him bottled up from third on back, but up front, here comes Ross Chastain. Dive bomb into turn number one. Not there. He'll slide back across the back bumper of Brandon Jones.
Chastain is there at a turn number two. Almost got the wall off the corner, but he still trails Brandon Jones by a half a car length in the race for the lead.
Brandon Jones opts for the low lane. Here comes Ross Chastain. Full head of steam in the outside. Side by side for the lead in Darlington. No contest at the start-finish line. Ross Chastain back to the top of the leaderboard with 20 to go.
Brandon Jones, I think, went to the bottom trying to defend against a
Oh,
possible
no,
slide.
no,
Ross
throwback.
Chastain saw the lane open up
It's done
high.
for.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
He goes to the lead.
Chastain, the leader. Does Brandon Jones
What the
have an
hell
answer?
happened?
He trails
What is
Chastain
going
by a
on?
half a car length as they go to
Okay,
turn three.
the
Behind
Chevy
them,
is mad.
the battle for third.
It's sad. It's just mad. That thing is
Good
sad.
race there from third on back. However, it's 20 to 25 car lengths behind the lead duo. Down to the line, 19 laps to go as they go to one.
The left front tire rub on the Christopher Bell machine appears to have clearance
look at his
itself.
second.
Not much smoke coming off that left front corner. He's regained his pace.
Oh,
He's on to third place.
Behind Christopher Bell in fourth.
Turn one up in the outside wall. Garrett simply gets a piece of the fence lead when Hyman goes head on into the wall. He tangled with Harrison Burton on entry into turn one. Got into the back of the Burton car. Tried to check up and got turned from behind. Leland Hyman straight into the fence in turn one.
Josh Williams also got a piece of that. About 3, maybe 4 cars coming to grief on lap 129 in front of Dave Moody.
It was a two-car incident at first as they entered turn number one. Coming into the turn, Hyman got into the back of the Harrison Burton machine. Harrison still laboring on those older tires. Harrison got sideways. Hyman checked up. He got gathered, and it turned him straight right into the outside fence. Heavy damage on that machine as it sits down on the apron of turn two.
17 laps to go when they get back around to the line. Pit road is closed. They all still have a brand new set of Goodyear tires. We'll find out in a moment. Anybody wants to put them on.
Hi, I'm Daniel Suarez, NASCAR driver, and I'm very excited to announce the NASCAR Cup Series is coming to Mexico. For the first time in history, NASCAR Cup Series will leave the United States and visit Mexico City. See you at the Autódromo Hermano Rodríguez from June 13 to June 15. Fast cars, sharp turns, and the magic of Mexico. Let's race. Get your tickets for the NASCAR Mexico City weekend on Ticketmaster.
Every hero's story has a humble beginning. Every legend has to earn their stripes. Every superstar had a dream. Every home track is the start of something special. Guys, let's get off short track racing. Oh, a little retaliation. Holy cow! Learn more about NASCAR regional tracks near you at NASCAR.com/regional.
From Darlington Raceway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Wherever you cheer, whatever you drive, you'll find Racing Electronics. With Racing Electronics, you'll hear uncensored communication from every team in the race and the broadcast with all your favorite MRN announcers. Hear every heart-pounding pass and strategy and so much more with a scanner and headphone rental. Upgrade to an Easy Talk intercom system to comfortably communicate over the noise of the race. To learn more, visit RacingElectronics.com. Be race ready. Be RE equipped.
Back at at Darlington Raceway. Pit lane is open. Steve Post.
Final set of Goodyear Racing Eagles. Carson Quapple, this has been a steady climb and a really good race car. 4 tires, minor adjustment. Similar, Connor Zilich from terrible handling early. He snuck his way into the top 10. Going to be 4 tires, Sunoco Racing Fuel. Harrison Burton is in. Going to get 4 tires in fuel. Here's the race off from pit road. Brandon Jones is going to win it. Justin Allgaier and Chase Elliott go out side by side. I think Elliott had the advantage there. Quapple goes out 4th, and Christian Eckes goes out 5th. Chris Wilner.
Well, it was a logjam. Steve Post leaving pit road as Chase Elliott completed his stop. Christopher Bell left. The two got together. Also, Ross Chastain was trying to leave at the same time. All those cars getting their money stopped for Goodyear Eagles. Their last set of tires and full of Sunoco fuel. But the car that stayed out on mine was Brennan Poole, who should be scheduled the leader. Again, one of those cars that was on the different pit strategy at lap number 25. Alan Cavana.
Brandon Jones has the first pit stall on pit road, and he was the first car off of pit road after that series of stops. He was too tight on that last run to fend off Ross Chastain and lost the lead, so they made a small adjustment to loosen up Jones and the 20 car. Just in front of him, Justin Allgaier. Before this, he had a disastrous pit stop, lost the lead, went all the way back to 14th. He was able to race his way up back to 7th and trying to get more pit stops, more stops back on that pit, more spots back on that pit stop just there.
So with pit stops wrapping up and everybody comes to the line, it's 15 to go. Not everybody came down the pit lane for service, and this is going to set up quite the interesting restart. Brennan Poole stayed out. He will inherit the lead. So did Jeff Burton. So did Josh Bilicki. So did Kyle Sieg, David Starr, and Garrett Smithley. Those 6 cars stayed on the racetrack. Brandon Jones, the first driver off the pit lane, will restart in 7th, with Chase Elliott in 8th, Justin Allgaier's 9th, and Carson Quapple will restart in 10th. Cole, what do you think about those apples?
It's still going to be a mess. Now you have 4 or 5 guys who are on old tires up there instead of just one. So it's going to be a log jam. And it's going to be interesting who wins this race, because it might not be the guy who has the fastest car. It's who works through this traffic of old tires first.
Walk us through the process as a driver with those new tires, knowing you're going to be a bullet out there compared to everybody else on the old tires, on the thought process and where you need to, number 1, what lane to pick for the restart, and number 2, when you get to turns 1 and 2, where you would ideally like to be.
Yeah, it's really tough where to pick, because, I mean, you're going to try and avoid them at all costs. But at some point, you can only avoid them so much. And it's really tough in the restart zone. If you start trying to push them and get them going, it's going to make it way worse. So you have to be extremely patient and not try and lift their back tires up off the ground and try and get them once you pass the start-finish line.
And everybody has to stay in line until the start-finish line. Then that's when the flaring out can begin. And sometimes that's where we see trouble going into turn 1 at Darlington. We've seen a lot of times, Dave Moody, where everybody's just trying to mind their manners, but all heck breaks loose by the time they get to your feet.
Yes, we've seen that a number of times, Mike, and we've also seen a number of times where nobody was really worried about minding their manners, and it really broke out, it might be. This is going to be, I think Cole Custer's got it right, going to be a bit of a mess as they scrap for real estate coming down that front stretch into turn 1.
And then Tim Catalfamo, they got to really stand on the brakes going into the tighter end of Darlington Raceway in front of you.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Alex. Going down into turn number 3, it really gets narrow very quickly, and if you're not in the exact spot that you want to be, you try to force your way back in line so you can get up close to the outside wall. If there's somebody there, that's where problems can start. It's been fairly clean so far today, but as the laps have gone by, the moves have gotten more intense, the driving into the corner has gotten deeper, and I think the patience is starting to run out from some of these drivers.
And all this culminates now into what will, at the line, be the 1-to-go signal. They'll get the 1 to go with 13 laps remaining, and then we'll go back under the green flag with 12 laps to go. And again, the top 6 staying out, and actually now the top 5, as a couple of others have come to pit road. So ones that are staying out on old tires are Brennan Poole, Jeff Burton, Josh Bilicki, and Kyle Sieg. We've had 2 others that have come down the pit lane since. So it's Poole, Burton, Bilicki, Sieg, and Jones. Everybody chooses. Poole outside, Burton inside. Bilicki and Sieg go outside. Brandon Jones will slide up and will restart on the inside of row 2. Elliott will follow him inside, and so will, looks like Justin Allgaier, Carson Quapple. So of the 4 drivers that stayed out on old tires, the front row, and then the 2 drivers on the outside line behind that front row.
And it looks like Ross Chastain will be the biggest mover on this. He was back in 13th to choose. He's going to be the first one on fresher tires to go up behind that trio of cars on the outside lane that have the older Goodyear tires on them. So that's quite the gamble for Ross Chastain. Traditionally on the old tires, when they go into turn 1, they want to go to the bottom of the track, but you normally see them with no grip just kind of drift up and meander towards the outside wall. That could be tough sledding back there if you got fresh tires trying to navigate that.
It's going to be interesting to see how all this unfolds, as right now the safety car is just inching the field off the end of the back straightaway. Jed Burton, sporting his father, Ward Burton's old Hardy's scheme, that orange and blue scheme from years gone by. He'll restart on the inside of row 1. Brennan Poole on the outside of the front row. When they come to the line, it's going to be 12 laps to go here in Darlington, and this will be a wild restart.
Here they come into the restart zone. Green flag goes in the air, and they're coming up to speed. First car with the fresh tires on the inside of the second row is Brandon Jones.
They remain 2 by 2 for the most part. Christopher Bell gets shoved way down on the racetrack. He comes up to another car, but they all get away, and Jeff Burton has the lead.
They all seem to make it on to turn number 2. Burton, the leader, side by side for second. Brandon Jones will take that spot away from Brennan Poole. Chase Elliott and Justin Allgaier will follow.
Here comes Jeff Burton. He will go to the high lane coming out the corner. Brandon Jones looks to his inside. Jones is there. They are side by side for the lead. 11 to go in Darlington. Brandon Jones on the pressure rubber drives in deep into turn number 1. Slides up across the Jeff Burton. Brandon Jones to the lead. Here comes Chase Elliott. Here comes Justin Allgaier for second and third.
Both Elliott and Allgaier now fighting with Jeff Burton for that position. Elliott goes to second. Here's Allgaier taking third away from Burton.
So it's Brandon Jones up front. Chase Elliott now second. Justin Allgaier is third. All on the fresher Goodyear tires. 10 laps to go. Jeff Burton is on in the number 4 spot.
Burton's done a phenomenal job, but now he's got a truck full of Ross Chastain. Ross jumps to the bottom in turn number 1. Hit power past him to take over the number 4 position.
Now Ross Chastain will try to set his sights on Justin Allgaier, the third place car. Allgaier about 5 car lengths in front of Ross, as Jeff Burton now feels the heat for Carson Quapple. Carson Quapple will dial up the low lane, and Jeff Burton begins the backup boogaloo coming down to the line. 9 to go. Brandon Jones is leading up to a full second over Chase Elliott and Justin Allgaier. Elliott and Allgaier
Oh, God.
Brandon Jones has got a great race car. He's pulling away off turn 2.
And Chase Elliott and Justin Allgaier are going to challenge Brandon Jones for the win. They're going to have to step it up because Brandon Jones has pulled away by 10 car lengths.
Second place is up for grabs. Justin Allgaier dives to the inside of Chase Elliott in turn 4. Elliott has the momentum topside. He'll hang on to the position as Brandon Jones scampers on.
Jones looks in the rearview mirror and says, race hard against each other, boys. The harder the better. He's just marking time right now. Right up this wall.
3 wide. That's not good.
Second continues to be really, really tight. Chase Elliott and Justin Allgaier separated by a half a car length as they enter turn 3. Right up against the safer barrier.
Meanwhile, Ross Chastain's hands are full with Carson Quapple. Quapple peeks to the inside. This will be the race for the number 4 position. It's 7 laps to go.
What are you doing?
Jones continues to pull away over Chase Elliott, who's trying to doing everything he can to get it.
Oh, he saved that.
Although he has put a couple of car lengths between himself and Justin Allgaier for their backs. The back breaks out again for the number 6 spot. Christian Eckes is on the move.
That's where you find Christian Eckes and also the machine of Connor Zilic. Zilic now in turn 3 will move around Christian Eckes and take the spot away.
Good drive there. As we look back towards the top 5, Carson Quapple in the 5th spot. He's getting racing with Ross Chastain headed to turn number 1.
Carson Quapple coming on strong for Junior Motorsports here in the late going, trying to reel in his teammate for an A. Ross Chastain. For the moment, that's a nose-to-tail battle for 4th and 5th.
Carson Quapple following in the tire tracks of Ross Chastain off turn number 2 and halfway down the back straightaway. Setting up for turn 3. Here's Quapple diving low on Chastain.
Taking another peek to the inside, but Chastain's got the fast lane up against
But yeah, I think there's not going to be a caution. Man, that 2013 throwback is cool, but it doesn't really look like a 2013. But okay. Hold on. I'm still. So yeah, doesn't really look like a throwback that much, but yeah, more like 3 laps to go. 2 laps to go here at Darlington Raceway. Oh my.
It was April 8th of 2022, the Martinsville Speedway. 98 races to go. He leads with 3 to go today.
Man, he hasn't won for like 3 years. Yeah, like he hasn't won for like 3 years, guys. That's crazy. And what is today? April 5th? 1 lap to go here. Brandon Jones in that 2013 throwback probably has the win in the bag. Here we go. Come on. Do it. Turns 3 and 4. That 20 car for Joe Gibbs Racing will win in that 2013 Matt Kenseth throwback car. Finally, 3 years. You haven't won in 3 years. He hasn't won in 3 years. Is that Elliott? Inside of the show, can't. Just kidding. Okay. Okay. He deserves that win, guys. 3 years. 3 years. It's been 3 years since that guy won. I'm almost done. Let's go. I think I'm gonna go with you guys. Leave that. Let's go. Burn it down. Straight. Burn it down, man. That one ended off here. So yeah.